Hello and welcome to the second episode of Launch Strategies for Leaders this week. We're actually on episode 15, the show where I come to you on a Tuesday and a Thursday to talk to you about how to increase the effectiveness of your next launch. For those of you who don't already know me, my name is Katrina Douglas. I am the founder of the Launch Strategist. So we started a new theme on Tuesday on how to increase the impact of your launch through innovation. Now, when a lot of people think about launching, they think of promotion, they think of how can they make their marketing more impactful, more effective to increase the impact of their launch. But what I want to talk to you about is our second P. So promotion is our fourth P in our 6P launch framework, the basis of everything we do here at the Launch Strategist. But I want to talk to you about the second P, product, because I think that you can really increase the impact of your launch by innovating your product. Innovation is one of those words that we bandy around a lot. Everyone has a slightly different take on what it means, but actually it's based on, increasing the creativity, just looking at what you do differently and optimizing it, and making it different, creative, effective, through just creative thinking and different ways of putting things together. So that's what we're talking about. And last year I spoke about, when we were in the midst of COVID, I spoke about, the thing that I believe is really going to be a differentiator, is really going to separate organizations post-COVID, is the 3 C's. I said there were 3 C's of the season. I still stand by them. And those 3 C's were creative thinking, collective brain power, and collaboration. And for me, those are the 3 things that are really going to bring great innovation to your organizations, to your business, to your launches as we move into this next season post-COVID. So that's what we're talking about. And so I wanted to continue that theme and really thinking about how can you innovate to increase the impact of your launch. If you missed the first episode on Monday where I gave you the first 3 tips, you can go ahead and watch that on our YouTube channel. Just simply search Launch Strategist on YouTube and that will pop up for you. The replays of all these lives are on our YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed already, please go ahead and do that. So what are some additional insights I want to give you on increasing the impact of innovation? Now, the first one is build your products for the future. Yes, absolutely accommodate the needs of today, but be future focused in a sense that you've got one eye on the present and what your business needs to do today and another eye on the future. How could your product better fit? How could your product better accommodate the needs of the future? So at the moment, I'm listening to a book on AI. Artificial intelligence is infiltrating every area of our lives. Now, moving forward, given that things like machine learning, robotics, and things like that is an upcoming trend, and we're going to see things like that in the future. I spoke about in the last episode Richard Branson and his latest foray into space travel. That is the reality of our tomorrow. And so can what you're launching accommodate that future? Have you thought about how those things are going to impact your organization, and how can you begin to incorporate and embed those things into your product? Begin thinking about that as you think about launching a division, a business, a product that is, yes, going to accommodate the needs of the market now, but also the needs of your market moving into the future. So look at the future and build backwards, almost build to the future almost. So be future focused in your thinking. The next thing is explore outside of your industry. Some of us are so fixed in industrial, inertia. Like, we're so focused on what's happening in our industry, which is great, which is important. We need to be focused on what's happening in our industry, the latest trends. It's very, very important. But sometimes you can be so fixed on your own industry that you lose sight of what's happening in others. And some of the best forms of innovation is when you bring inspiration from outside of your things, outside of your industry. So ideas and concepts that are common in other industries, and you integrate that into your field in a way that hasn't been done before. So when it comes to innovation, look at what's happening outside of your industry. Read broader than your field and expand your field of learning. So, because you'll find that some of your best ideas for your business, for your organization, are going to come from places that are completely outside your industry. So have your eyes open, have your ears open, always be learning, always be open to new ideas and fresh insights that are not currently being incorporated in your industry. So that's the second thing I wanted to share with you today. The next thing is speak to your ideal client often. No matter how high you go up in your organization, always have your finger on the pulse in terms of what your ideal clients, what your clients of the future actually want. Open a dialogue, speak to them. Social media makes this super easy for us, but also pick up the phone and just have conversations, not necessarily about your product per se, but actually what's happening in their world, what is front of mind for them at the moment. Broaden the conversation, and that gives you an openness and an awareness of things that you would never have thought of. And so this one is really important. I think that it's really important to have this idea of collective thinking and collective brain power. And this has become just increasingly apparent to me as I grow. And the more I grow is the more I seek mentorship and join masterminds, and the power of group thinking, the power of collective thinking to sense check your ideas, to bring ideas that you never would have thought about. Talk to people, have moments like that where you just brainstorm with like minds, you just think with like minds, you just talk with like minds, because it's amazing the inspiration that will come from other people. And sometimes the best ideas are actually not going to come from you, they're going to come from outside, and you're going to have a light bulb moment and it's going to trigger something in you. But unless you have those conversations, unless you're positioning yourself in those places among certain types of people where you can think like that, it's not going to happen. So those are my 4 tips for you today, one more than usual. So the first is assess the landscape of the future and begin thinking about how can you incorporate and embody things of the future, like artificial intelligence, like machine learning, into what you're doing today. Be future focused. Don't be so focused on the present and what's happening now that you lose sight of what's happening in the future. Because one of the differentiators of launching what I like to call legacy, because when I work with organizations, we're not just launching products and services and businesses, we're launching legacy, is sustainability. And in order to be sustainable, you have to build with the future in mind. So it's a very, very important point that we often miss because we're so busy with actually what's going on in our world at the moment. Next thing is explore outside of your industry. The world is a whole lot bigger than our industry, and there's some incredible thinking, incredible innovations outside of our industries that have not yet been brought into ours. So if you can look outside, read broadly, read, just widely, that is going to help you. The next thing is speak to your ideal client often, no matter how high you go in your organization. Always pick up the phone, talk to your clients, comment, feedback, have a dialogue, and never allow that dialogue to stop between you and your clients. The final thing is, what is the final thing? I actually forgot what the final thing is, but I'm going to add one. And that is try new things always, and don't be scared to fail. So if you missed that one that I forgot at the end, go ahead and catch the replay. Another example to catch the replay. And I can see some comments, Thanks those of you that are joining me live. Gonna catch the replay. If you have any questions, please do drop them in the comments around launching, whether it's about what we do, any questions that you have, please fire away and drop them in the comments, and I will be sure to answer them. Thank you so much for joining, Michael. Appreciate that. Always appreciate your presence on these lives. Adiola, welcome. Access the landscape of the future. Be future focused. Absolutely. Glad that resonated with you. And thank you for adding that in the comments. And then also, don't be so busy with what is going on in your world that you lose track of the future goal. Absolutely. And thank you for consolidating those, Adiola. An absolute pleasure to have you live with me today. So I don't see any more comments. Thank you for joining me live. If you want to know about what we do, how we can support you, your organization, someone you know in your next launch, go ahead over to thelaunchstrategist.com. We'll be more than happy to support you in any way that we can. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the sunshine. It continues to be glorious outside, at least in the UK, in the southeast. So yes. Have an amazing rest of the day and weekend. And I will be back live with you on Tuesday at 1 p.m. with another theme. So I look forward to speaking to you then. Hope you can join me again. Bye-bye.